Hello, I'm Elisa. Welcome to my channel and On the Mind Goes, where I discuss my journey towards an AuDHD diagnosis. I actually go tomorrow to talk to my primary care doctor and take my binder of all the stuff I put together and try and get a referral to a neuropsych or one of the eval places. Um, so someone had reached out and they had asked me kind of what I had done, what tests I had taken, different things like that, because they were on the same journey. And so I kind of gave them the whole spiel, and I thought it might be helpful to you in case you too are on this journey and you just kind of wanted some help on getting started. So what I did was first of all, I just wrote down all these traits. So struggles, strengths, whatever. So things such as my sensory processing, trichotillomania, anxiety, depression, fibromyalgia, my special interests, my pattern recognition. I just jotted it all down. So anything I could think of, I just threw it down. Or as I was watching lots of different videos, if I like heard a trait that I connected with, I jotted those down. So first, again, I just started that list. Then what I did is I wrote lists of the traits for ADHD, for bipolar 2, autism, and AuDHD. And so I made these huge lists, again, compiling from different videos and different resources and just trying to pull it all together. And once I had these lists, I am a very visual person. And so I just wanted to have like a quick snapshot. And so what I did is I just kind of made a circle diagram. So I took all those traits, let's say for ADHD, and I took all the traits for ADHD and I just put them around a circle. And then from the center, let me just show you as I reach. So as you go out from the circle, so I struggle with 0 to 10 rating scales. I just do. And so I find lines easier. So what I did was then I created these just kind of, the light's horrible. These little diagrams that just kind of showed if the line went all the way to the trait, then that means that it mostly or that it impacts me most or affects me or whatever the word may be. And some of them have short lines, some of them have no lines whatsoever because those things just didn't relate to me. So I just did that so that again I could get that quick overview for each of the different diagnoses. And doing that, it really helped me to see that, for instance, like here you can see bipolar, but you see how there are some lines that are long. Well, those long lines I was noticing were things that could be explained by ADHD. So, for instance, my long lines there are racing thoughts, um, rapid speech or impulsivity, increased energy and activity levels, restlessness, cognitive problems like with memory, attention, concentration, anxiety, and panic attacks, and then difficulty concentrating and making decisions. And I think that was it. So again, so those were the ones for bipolar that I most resonated with. But in doing these diagrams, it helped me kind of see that a lot of those things, like the racing thoughts, the impulsivity, all of that can also be explained by, let's say, ADHD or AuDHD. And so it just kind of helped me sort of confirm that I'm questioning this whole bipolar diagnosis because it could be explained by other things. All right, so once I did that, so I had my circle diagrams, I drew my lines. Then once I did that, I took the things that I had the longest lines to, and I just jotted down all those traits. So, and then here's an example too. This was my AuDHD one, and so you can kind of see like all the long lines that come off of it. So again, I just wrote down all those traits. So once I wrote down the traits, my husband is so in his job right now, he has to do a lot with Chat GPT. And so he's always raving about like what it can do. And so I decided to take all these traits and to put them into Chat GPT and just kind of see what it would tell me. So I asked it, I just said, hey, if I give you all these traits, can you kind of narrow it down and tell me like what you're thinking? And so it broke it down. And in the end, it said that Likely diagnostic intersections were ADHD, especially inattentive or combined type, autism spectrum disorder, level 1, formerly high functioning, anxiety and or depressive disorders, possible OCD spectrum overlap, and neurodivergent burnout or trauma-related coping mechanisms. Says this blend is often colloquially described as AuDHD with comorbid anxiety and depression. So once I got that, that just kind of like reaffirmed what I was already kind of seeing and realizing for myself. Um, and then I just wanted to do some more testing. So I went ahead and I got online and I did the GQ-ASC scale for adult women. Because from what I was reading, it was saying how, like I'm sure a lot of you know, that a lot of the scales and the testing and all of that are more geared towards males. Um, so these are just kind of helpful for that. The other one I took was I went through Attitude Magazine and what? One moment, my dog wants to go outside. Okay, she's good. So then I went on there and they had a female autism test. So I took that and then I had them just send me my results so I could print them off. I also did on Embrace Autism, I did their CAT-Q test. And for those that don't really know, from what I was reading, that this one kind of just helps for high masking and it can help kind of show if you are high masking. Um, and then I did this test that I don't remember which one it was, so I have to find it, but it was the one that gives you like this diagram, but I didn't print anything else out with it, so that doesn't help me very much. And then I took the RADS-R. So those are all when I go tomorrow, I am going with my big old, well, not big, my binder that just has like everything broken down in here. And then I'm also going to take these little cards that I had created with all the different traits on there. So yeah, so that's kind of what I'm bringing with me tomorrow. And it's kind of daunting because you do all this research and you feel like this is something that finally like answers all of these questions that you have. But then what if you're wrong? What if I go there and then they say that you know, that they're just dismissive and blow me off and either one, don't listen, or two, like don't agree and don't like want to get further testing done or anything like that. I know a lot of people do like the self-diagnosis, which I think nothing wrong with that at all. But I think for me, that just because I have had like the bipolar diagnosis and the ADHD and all these different things, that I guess really part of it is like I don't feel like I'll be believed if I don't have it officially. Like that it'll just be like, oh, she's a label collector. When really, as I was telling my husband, it's not that I want to collect labels or all these diagnoses. Like I just want to find the right one. I want to find like what actually can help explain my experience. And it's different to kind of think about, like I was watching a video earlier where it was saying how that that AuDHD isn't a disorder, but it's, you know, just a different neurotype. And so looking at it that way would be interesting for me to kind of say like, okay, where before I always thought it was bipolar. And though there's nothing wrong with bipolar, it still made me feel like I couldn't ever really trust my brain. Like I always felt super strong in one moment, in whatever I was thinking. And then 2 seconds later, I would feel a complete different way. And so I never really understood which side of my brain to believe. But I'm starting to realize that I think a lot of that was I spent a lot of my life just kind of being whoever I thought I was supposed to be because of what everyone was telling me. And I'm finally at a point where I'm like, you know what? I just want to figure it out for myself and do what makes me happy. And so I don't, so that goes against what I just said because I said that I want a diagnosis that way it's more believed. But, and then I say I don't care. But that's the contradictions in here. Because I don't know. I just feel like if I mention it to people that they're gonna be like, "Oh, yeah, you have autism." And it'll just kind of be dismissed, blown off, or, because I've done that to myself too. Like in the beginning when I was doing the research, I would be like, "Oh, this really connects." And then all of a sudden I'd be like, "No, where am I coming up with that? There's no way that that could be it." And so I was just gaslighting myself a whole bunch too. Um, so yeah, so again, maybe you're on this journey, maybe you have questions, maybe this helps you, maybe it doesn't. I hope it does. If you were curious, if you wanted to make a list of traits too, and you weren't kind of sure like where to grab traits from or what to like think of, just let me know. Like, and I can either get you some of these or kind of just like write down a list of stuff or do a video where I kind of just talk through the different traits for each one of them. Um, so yeah, so join me. Let me know kind of how your journey began. Maybe if you went for an official diagnosis, what did you take with you, or did you just go in there kind of to see what they had to say? Yeah, so again, I appreciate you watching and not again, because I didn't say that already, but I do appreciate you watching and following along. And I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you. Have a good day. That's dumb.